Hello everyone, welcome to this video. If you're new to this channel, my name is Moyo and you're so welcome to She Bites. I make videos all about food, faith and lifestyle, and I have a wealth of videos for you to check out if you have not already. So if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make cinnamon buns and cinnamon rolls. This has been a highly requested video and I know it's a bit long, but honestly watch it till the end so that you see all the intricacies that this video involves. It's a super easy recipe and all the recipe details are in the description box below, so make sure you check that out. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned to see the full recipe. Let's get into the ingredients. You're going to need some flour and white sugar, 2 eggs, some butter. You're also going to need some lukewarm milk about room temperature and some dry yeast. You can use active dry yeast in this case. As you would expect in a cinnamon roll recipe, you're going to need some cinnamon powder, which you can find basically in almost any supermarket. Now, it's important to make sure that your milk is warm, but it's definitely not over 40 degrees so that you don't kill your yeast. So you're just going to pour your yeast into your milk and mix it around. You can also use a whisk to make sure that it's well combined. You're going to leave that for about 5 minutes to let the yeast bloom. Meanwhile, you can just cut your butter into small cubes. If you're living in a cold country, it would be wise to bring the butter out, let's say 10 minutes before you start this recipe, but Nigeria is so hot that it's not even necessary. As you can see, I added a dash of cinnamon into the actual batter. This is not necessary, but it's just layering cinnamon in all the different layers of this dish. So just mix the sugar, flour and cinnamon together, then you can add the milk and yeast mixture. After this forms like a sturdy dough, you can then add in the eggs. The 2 eggs, you can whisk the eggs beforehand or just leave them as they are. The eggs are not for any kind of leavening action. After you've mixed the eggs into the dough, you will see that you're going to have a really stiff dough, and this is what you want because we're going to add the butter gradually into the dough until we have the smooth consistency that we're looking for. Add the butter to the dough about 4 cubes at a time, and then you're just going to knead the butter into the dough. Try and do this in a cool environment so that the butter just doesn't melt completely, but basically what you're going to do is gradually massage the butter into the dough. After it's all come in, you can then take your dough out of the bowl and lightly knead it on a floured surface. You don't want to over knead so that all the butter melts before it's incorporated. You want to try and incorporate the kind of solid chunks of butter into this dough. After that, as you can see, the dough now looks much nicer. You're going to knead for about 10 minutes until you have a nice, smooth and elastic dough. Yes, 10 minutes. Get that workout in, get the arm workout in and burn some calories while you're making this delicious dish. So after about 10 minutes, you're going to leave it to rest in a covered and warm environment for 1.5 to 2 hours. Next, you're going to measure your butter, sugar and some cinnamon for the cinnamon filling in the middle of the cinnamon roll. You want your butter to be a bit solid at this stage, and then you're just going to mix everything together until it is well combined and set it aside either in your fridge or in a relatively cold part of your house or kitchen. After about 2 hours, this is what our dough looks like. You're going to punch it down, have some fun punching the dough down, and then we're going to cut it into our desired shapes. It's really not necessary for you to knead the dough at this point. What you want to do is cut off about 1/4 of the dough for use in the cinnamon buns, and then keep 3/4 for use in the cinnamon rolls. What you're going to do is basically roll this out until about 2 to 1.5 centimeter thickness. It doesn't have to be super thin, and just basically until it's kind of a rectangular shape so that you can roll it with your cinnamon mixture, as you can see right here. Next, you're just going to spread your pre-prepared cinnamon, sugar and butter mixture all over the center of this. Make sure you also keep some apart to be used in the cinnamon buns. I tried to melt this down a little bit in the microwave because I kept it in the fridge whilst the dough was rising. So you're just going to roll it upon itself. This is a super simple method. You're going to make sure that the end is properly closed, and then you're going to cut it up into about 8 to 12 pieces depending on how large you want your cinnamon rolls to be. Try to make them as equal as possible. You can also use a knife to cut them if you don't have a dough cutter, but trust me, it's super simple to make them nice and equal. Then you're going to arrange them on a lined baking tray with some baking paper or a silicone baking mat, as I have here. You want to leave enough space in between each of them because they're going to proof and take up even more space. In this case, I actually want them to join together when I bake them, but if you want them separately, you can bake them in large muffin or cupcake tins. Then we're going to leave that to rest for a further 30 minutes while we do the cinnamon buns. I think cinnamon buns are just so pretty and they get nice and crispy in the oven. They're less bready and more pastry-like. So as we did before, just roll this out until it's nice and thin, a bit thinner than the cinnamon rolls in this case. Spread on the cinnamon paste and then you're going to fold this in half, just directly in one half. Now I'd like to say welcome to art class. You're going to understand because we're going to make some dough trousers. Cut off any excess dough and then you're going to cut this dough into nice rectangles of about 3 to 4 centimeters in width. And then you're going to run your dough cutter or knife through the center of each of these rectangles without cutting it all the way through, as you can see here, to form some nice dough trousers, some cinnamon dough trousers. You're going to twist each of the legs of the trousers nicely and tightly. Then you're going to take one, roll it over and place it right in the middle of the top of the trousers. And you're going to take the other one and place it underneath, as you can see. Trust me, it's super easy. Then you're going to repeat this same procedure for all the trousers you have, and then you're going to also leave this to rest for about 30 minutes so that they can proof nicely, also on a nicely lined baking tray. Also make sure that you make use of the offcuts. They can still form a really pretty cinnamon bun in this case. After they've been resting, you can see that they've expanded very nicely. You're going to use an egg wash to brush them lightly on top. My egg wash is just a mixture of 1 egg. Some people prefer to use egg yolks, but it's up to you. So I'm just going to brush the cinnamon rolls and cinnamon buns with ample, like enough egg wash so that they brown nicely in the oven. The egg wash is super important so that you get the nice golden color that you want in your cinnamon rolls and buns. After the egg wash, you're going to put them into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius. The cinnamon buns will bake for 15 minutes and the cinnamon rolls will bake for 15 minutes at 180 and then a further 15 minutes at 140 degrees to ensure that they're browned on the outside and cooked all the way through. And what I love about cinnamon rolls is how it falls apart into its individual layers. It's so delicious, not overly sweet, so soft and bready and yummy, yet pastry-like. Thank you guys for watching this video and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Thank you guys so much for watching to this point. Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed it and share it with those who you think would enjoy it also. Bye!